What's going on, guys? It's Vulkan, and today I have the first video in a new series that I'm kicking off called the Division Beginners series. And when I say beginner, I don't necessarily mean this is only for new players. This is also for returning players such as myself. I left a while ago, right before the first incursion came out, but right after gear sets were introduced. And coming back to the game, there was so much that had changed that I was really lost. I had known back then how to level up, how to gear up, what I needed to follow, what I needed to look for, and my entire world had been flipped upside down because none of that stuff was relevant, one, and two, I had such wrong information that I was gearing incorrectly and wondering why I was dying all the time. So I want to get this video out, that way you guys, whether you're a returning player or a new player, would have something that you could look at and understand where to go after level cap. Because the leveling experience from 1 to 30 is pretty straightforward. They give you waypoints, you go to those waypoints, complete the objective, go back, get a new waypoint. But at level 30, they just drop you off in the middle of nowhere. And you have a lot of freedom, which is good, because you can level how you want, gear how you want, and freedom is good, but freedom is also scary at times. A lot of people really enjoy having something to go towards, and they like having something, a clear path set in front of them. Division doesn't give you that. So what I want to do is put together this video series that would essentially give you guys that path, give you guys that leveling experience, and guide you the same way that I leveled up my characters and the same way that I got back into the grind. Now, this is by no way the most effective, the most efficient. I'm not claiming this is the one-all, be-all leveling, grinding, or gearing up experience. This is something that I did, I enjoyed, and I felt like I still got to play the game how I wanted to play it, but I was also being somewhat efficient at the same time. I'm going to be going down some steps, and these steps are going to be essentially checklist items. So don't think of them as I have to do this one and this one and this one and this one in this particular order, and don't take my word as a commandment. This is just, like I said, my recommendation. So jumping right in, once you hit level 30, the first thing you want to do is you want to finish out your base of operations. You have the medical wing, the security wing, and the technology wing. This is absolutely critical. If you don't get these wings completed, you don't get your signature skills, you don't get your talents, you don't get your skills in general, and you're going to be at an immediate disadvantage just right from the get-go. So make sure you complete those waypoints on your map, the supplies points, and bring those back to the base of operations, get that completed, that way you unlock everything you need to, and you'll be an effective max level character. While you're out doing the supplies, make sure you complete any and all side missions. They're the little pentagon symbol on the map, kind of like a light blue. Now, you're going to get some crafting blueprints, you're going to get some experience and some credits. The most important thing out of that entire thing is the experience. Because once you hit level 30, your experience bar turns into a level up bar. And when you level up, you get a field proficiency cache. And what this has inside of it, you guessed it, gear, weapons, credits, Phoenix credits. It has things that you need as a max level character, and it's going to be vital to your gearing up experience. So any sort of XP you can possibly get your hands on is going to be absolutely vital, and I would recommend you go out of your way to do it. Now, there are things that you're going to have to weigh risk reward, right? Do you want to spend the extra 30 minutes to get a little bit of experience, or do you want to go farm world bosses and get, big experience? It's up to you. Whatever you guys enjoy. Now, make sure to complete your daily and weekly objectives in your map. If you open up the map and you left bumper over to gear or mission overview, you're going to have daily assignments, weekly assignments, and mission assignments. You have some incursion stuff in there, but as a fresh level 30, you're not really going to be able to tackle those quite yet. Make sure that you complete all of these assignments. These are going to give you caches, and they're going to give you more gear and push you further towards gear cap. So what is gear cap? Gear cap is 256, and it's called Gearscore. Your gear score is calculated by averaging all of the gear score of the weapons, the armor that you have currently equipped on your character, averages it out, and gives you essentially a rating. Now, the current max is 256 rating, and you want to race to that as quickly as you can. Reason being is once you get to World Tier 5, which if you look on your map in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see something called World Tier. It's 1 through 5. 5 has the greatest chance of dropping the gear that you need. Once you get that gear, you can start working about builds, you can start working towards incursions, and you can start kind of concreting and finalizing out your playstyle, which is really cool. And that's really where this game starts to shine. So what we want to do is we want to work on getting your gear score to 256. What are some effective ways to do that? You have missions, increasing difficulty from normal, hard, challenging. Eventually you'll get to legendary. Sharing items from friends. So one thing that I like to do with my friends, that they came back, they were in the 180s, low 200s. We ran content, and any gear that I got, I just dropped for them that I didn't need. And that boosted them to 256 pretty quickly. And it was a very effective way to do it. Plus, playing with friends is always great. Next thing up is world bosses. So you can go out to the Reddit, and I'll put a map up here. And all these world bosses they have a chance, one, to drop gear sets, high-ends, exotics. All the ones in the light zone, which is the area outside of the dark zone, they respawn every 4 hours. Every boss inside of the dark zone respawns every 10 minutes. So I recommend clearing out the light zone, getting your gear, going into the dark zone, killing the bosses in there, farming them, for as long as you would like, getting some gear, coming back out. Crafting should be a last resort, 100%, just because crafting patterns and blueprints are going to be expensive. Vendors, on the other hand, are a really good way to buy an item to kind of fill in a gap. So if you're missing a holster and you can't really get a good holster that drops, but you find one at a vendor that's decent, buy it, put it in there until you get something that's better. Now, finding a playstyle that works for you is something that you need to keep focusing on, because there's a ton of gear sets that are going to kind of fall into your playstyle. For example, if you like to be a tank, the D3 FNC set is good, aka defense. If you're a healer, you have the Reclaimer set. If you like to sit back and snipe, that's going to be more the Deadeye. If you're just a lone wolf who enjoys playing by themselves and wants a little bit more survivability, Nomad set sounds like you. Let's say you like to be a technician and throw turrets and use the seeker mines and utilize pulse and use all the technology that's available to your division agent. Tactician's Authority, straight electronics and skill power. So make sure to use your resources like YouTube, Wikipedia, and the Reddit in order to research different builds, find different metas, different synergies, because that's going to be important. If you go into the dark zone with a build that you enjoy and you get absolutely melted by somebody else, it might not be a bug, it might not be a glitch, it might just be they're rocking the current meta, and that meta just happens to absolutely melt other people. So it's something that I'm not a particular fan of. I'm not somebody that runs the meta and switches as the meta changes. I usually find a playstyle that I really enjoy, stick with it, and if I get melted in the dark zone, I get melted in the dark zone. It's a fun game. I'm just here to play it. So let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit about what happens next. So after you complete all of these things, you get to 256. You have different mods. You've completed all your weapons, and the base of operations is looking pretty good. What we want to do now is we want to start thinking about builds, gear sets, and synergy. And the next video, we're going to deep dive into that. We're going to take a few different gear sets, look at what is going to be the best way to run them, what other gear sets work well with them, and how to maximize your gear set effectiveness. So one thing I want from you guys is in the comments below, let me know, do you guys have a particular gear set you like to run? Are you a newer returning player? If so, welcome back, or welcome to the game. Division's pretty fun. That's, in my opinion, the ultimate looter shooter. And I'm curious what you guys have to say about the experience as a whole. Also, is there anything in the video that you guys would have liked to see or liked me to focus on more? I'm getting into builds the next video and more tweaking and things like that, so it's going to be more mods, weapons, skills, talent, and all of that stuff. This video, more or less just trying to get people to 256 and the quickest way to get there. Anyway, let me know, guys. Until next time. See ya.
We can ride some more.